it's Pete Thorne. Welcome to the studio. Hey, from my friends in Greece, all the way across the pond, it's the Super Conductor. This is a multi-function boost pedal, really great sounding boost pedal that allows you to get a whole bunch of different boost tones. You've basically got Rangemaster style boost in there with two different tone settings so that you can get a bassier kind of Rangemaster Fuller boost or a bit more of the typical kind of traditional Rangemaster boost. That's really cool, that two-position switch, because it's going to allow you to use the Rangemaster boost in front of more amps. A Rangemaster with too much bass, that won't work in front of the old school Brian May normal channel of a Vox AC30. You're going to want the bass all cut out of the Rangemaster, because that was the whole point. It gnarly treble boost, tightened up the amp and made everything really cool. But in front of, say, something like the trebly input on a Marshall Plexi, the Rangemaster would just be way too much, but it actually works in this pedal in front of a treblier amp using the bassier settings. So that's really nice to have. So that's the first boost, Rangemaster style. Now the next one is an EP style booster, so Echoplex style booster. It's kind of got a fat colored thing to it that's just really special. And that bass cut or full bass position switch also works on the EP booster, so it gives you a couple options. The other two settings here are a microamp style boost, kind of the classic clean boost, and also a ZVEX Super Hard-On style boost, which is a great sounding and sounds different than the microamp style boost. They're both clean boosters, but they both got a different flavor to them. On those two, you actually get a switch here to take the voltage from 9 volts to 18 volts, so you can get like a saggier feel or a little bit more of a robust, like tight and a little bit louder, more headroom amp-like feel out of those boosts. I used it on a whole bunch of different guitar parts on the song at the beginning of the video. I used a few different guitars. I also used a few different amps. I used my old Marshall 50-watt JMP. I used my Shure SL68, and I also used my Top Hat King Royale, which is like an AC30, and did some sort of Brian May style boosting with it as well, using that amp. So really versatile pedal. Got lots of great tones out of it. This video is going to be all about breaking down those parts from the song at the beginning of the video, also playing a little bit more with those tones through the pedal, and you should get a real good idea what this thing does by the end of this video. So let's get to it. Okay, so I just cut the first part in the song at the beginning of the video. I'm using my Top Hat AC30 style amp. It's a King Royale. I'm going into the normal channel, a la Brian May. I got it cranked way up, and I'm using the Rangemaster style boost on here. And I've got it in the most sort of bass cut position. And if I turn off the pedal, it's just a muddy mess. Not a sound you could really use for anything. But as soon as you turn on the pedal, it gets all dynamic and cleans the tone up and does that Rangemaster thing. It just sounds great. Now I just cut the second part in the song at the beginning of the video, which is just the rhythm part that's on the right instead of on the left. And for this sound, I used the MA setting, which stands for microamp, and it just sounded the best to me. It's a full range boost. I used it at 18 volts, so it's got more headroom. The headroom switch definitely affects the sound. Let me show you. there's a tightness when you use the switch in the 18-volt setting. It's a little louder, a little bolder, a little cleaner, everything, and that goes for the two settings that this works on. So it also works on the next setting, which is called MF, and this is sort of like a ZVEC Super Hard-On, evidently. This sound has like more gain and more push and more fullness to it, just in general, it seems. So the 18-volt setting in the MF setting is the biggest, fullest, kind of, you know, most hard driving sound you can get out of the pedal, I think. It'd be nice if I showed you the bypass tone, so I'll do that now. You can hear when I go to the 9-volt setting, it just gets a little bit squishier and a little bit softer and a little bit less punchy. And right now I've got the boost on about 11 o'clock, so plenty of boost left there. But I liked, actually, for this part, because it wasn't quite hitting the amp as hard, I actually just liked the microamp style boost setting at 18 volts. It was the cleanest and the tightest sounding. Now, you'll hear when I turn the pedal off that things also get darker, and that's because the pedal is functioning as a buffer as well as boosting. So it adds a beautiful top end to the signal, cleans up the sound. I'm using 20 feet of cable with this cordial cable here on the way to the amp, but then there's about another 20 feet, it's about 40 feet or something like that if I don't have the pedal on, because when it's in like true bypass off mode. So you'll definitely, you know, get a nice buffering effect from having the pedal on. That sounds really good and just kind of cleans things up and keeps things tight, as well as boosting. So I just cut the first lead part in the song at the beginning of the video. I'm using my Shure SL68, and I'm on the volume 1, you know, kind of the bright Plexi input, and I've got it cranked up to about 8. And I'm kind of doing the get into quasi Van Halen territory with this sound. This is the part that I played with it with the pedal on. That kind of thing. Without the pedal. And with it. It does that pretty brown thing, you know? I mean, it's definitely kind of more boost than I think you would get out of like an actual Echoplex, but it's got this great character. Echoplex preamps have this kind of fattening effect that's really cool. With this pedal, though, you do have the option of the kind of the 2-position setting on both the Rangemaster and on the Echoplex sounds, where you can kind of lop out some bass and thin it out a little bit. So I think it sounds really cool in both positions. It's a little more farty or something in the more bass position, but it's cool, and it's in a cool way. It's like vintage. Yeah, it's not super tight, but it sounds great in front of a Plexi style amp. So I like it both ways. I think I actually prefer it in the fatter mode in front of the Plexi style amp, at least on 8, but it just has this great kind of fat single note thing, and it's just really vintage sounding.
And so for the last lead in the track, I'm back in Rangemaster mode. I've got the boost almost on 10. I'm using the low cut position because I'm running once again in front of my normal channel of my top hat, which is like an AC30, and it's real bassy and dark. With no pedal, it's all woolly, so you don't want to add more bass to that. So turning on the pedal with the bass cut and the boost almost on 10 in Rangemaster style mode. And it pretty much gets right into that Brian May, you know. You know, turn down the volume a little bit and you'll get...
There you have it, the Superconductor from Crazy Tube Circuits, coming to you all the way from Greece. Ultra versatile boost pedal, should fulfill just about all of your boost needs, be it clean boosting, colored Echoplex style boosting, Rangemaster gnarly treble boosting, all that good stuff you can get out of this pedal. So you can check it out further at that link down there in the video description below. It'll take you to more info about the Crazy Tube Circuits Superconductor and also more of those great Crazy Tube Circuits pedals coming to you all the way from Greece. Thanks you guys for watching. I'm Pete Thorne. Take care. Over and out.